Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am moving the camera. Yes, I am. But thank you for tuning in. This is Jaylee's Corner. I am, of course, Jaylee, and this is my review for Being Mary Jane. This is episode 12 for season 4. A good episode. But as we know, first things first, if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my channel. It does not cost you anything. It just lets you know when I have new content, new videos and things on my channel. You just hit the little subscribe button and that's all you have to do. You can also like my videos, share my videos, and there is a comment section below where you can put your comments. There's one rule for the comment section. Please be respectful. Thank you. This episode, I liked it. But, you know, there were also some things I was like, I don't know. We see how the episode starts off. I think I'm tired. I'm like, my posture's all crazy. Let me sit up and be presentable. So the episode does start off with Mary Jane and I have to move my hat out the way. Mary Jane and Justin waking up, and of course it is the morning after. The morning after what? Them sexing each other down in her bed. Yes, they did the do. And Mary Jane is in the bed sleep, as you see where her alarm going off, with Justin being already woken, dressed, and drinking some coffee, looking at out the window. And you know, she gets up and they have a nice little moment looking at my little gray patch. I'm only 35. They have a nice little moment looking at the sun come up. And he quotes like the Lion King saying, you know, when the sun comes up, everything that the sun touches can be yours. Which is a line that Mufasa said to Simba in the Lion King. So I thought that was funny. You know, they are riding to work separately, as we come to find out, because they're going to keep their relationship somewhat of a secret, which I completely get. Everybody know in the real world, in the work world, if you are dating someone you work with, you don't make it known. Like, you do keep it under wraps, at least until it's serious. And you know, people sleep together all the time at work. I don't agree with that, because it just leads to craziness if it doesn't work out. So him suggesting them not to ride to work together, to keep them to for lack of a better term, a secret. It makes sense. You don't want to ride to work together after y'all just smash and then, oh, you're a couple, and then that makes it some kind of work issue. You should keep it private because it's your private life. But they do agree that they need to make some rules now that they are sleeping together or whatever we want to call it for right now. Rule number 1, work comes first. Rule number 2, no distractions or mistakes. And rule number 3, they want to be a united front on all decisions. Those are good rules. You know what I'm saying? You do want to make sure that any relationship issues don't interfere with work. So work should always come first. Even if you're pissed at your mate, if y'all work together, it should be about work. It should never be about whatever, I keep slouching, whatever argument you guys are having. No distractions. Distractions is going to happen, so they could have threw it out the window. No mistakes. I get that. You don't want to make a mistake, but you might get a little bit distracted. Being a united front. That's difficult, just solely because they have different opinions and different views. So I think the conversation, well, the rule should have been, we will talk about decisions and try to come to a united answer, but it ain't gonna be that easy up front. They're in the cabs have this conversation over the phone. So she's in her cab, he's in his cab. And what I thought was funny, like, y'all want to keep it a secret, but y'all saying each other's names and y'all are on TV. So the cab, if I was a cab driver and I seen Mary Jane saying Justin, I'll put 2 and 2 together. And especially if she's talking about, you know, you a producer, you the senior producer, I'm going to be like, guess who she's smashing? Because that's what people do in the real world. If you somewhere someone hears you say something about somebody famous, at least if you're someone famous, that's how word spreads. I do wish they would have not been saying each other's name. If you're gonna keep it a secret, keep it a secret. But yeah, he's in his cab, she's in her cab, and they're kind of just talking back and forth. And he's gassing her up. He's making her feel like, yeah, we're gonna be this united front. I'm gonna be the senior producer. You are the talent, and we're gonna take over the whole world, basically. Um, she keeps well, she didn't keep, but she at one point when they were in the house asked, what they were like. What is this? And she let him know, I need some kind of label. And she's like, you want to know what this is? It's you and me. It's you and me, only. Meaning, let us be us and take the outside world out. But not Mary Jane Paul. No, ma'am, no, sir. She was like, I need a label. I need a title. And he was like, you my girl. Mary Jane is 40. At 40 years old, I don't want to be your girl. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, when you over 40, you shouldn't have to ask for a title. You can just, I would have asked, are we seriously dating only each other? Like, are we dating to have this go somewhere? And for it to be, we not just sleeping together. But I don't want you to say, yeah, you my girl. I would have liked it more if you would say, you my lady. You know what I'm saying? Which means you claiming her. It's just a little bit more classy based. That's what I would have preferred. We do see when they get to work, they have their first chance to make a joint decision together. On one accord, where one news anchor is no longer there, and their boss is trying to interview new people, and they have two different opinions on who they suggest should be a new anchor. So the boss is like, okay, I'm gonna give y'all 5 minutes to have a discussion because they just got to work, and we'll see, what y'all can come up with because we'll take those names into consideration. And of course, they're talking back and forth, and they can't agree. Mary Jane is, shopping black anchors. He's shopping white anchors, and he lets her know, they're not trying to add more color. They're not trying to make this place more diverse. And sometimes that is how it is in the real work field, which is sad. But sometimes some places do have a quota of how many different colors that they. I'm trying to think of how to be politically correct. But fuck it. Sometimes they only want so many black people, or so many Mexican people, or so many Asians, or so many others, as we will say. And Justin was like, they already tried to have two black women with you and Rhonda. That didn't work out. And just got rid of the other girl who was ethnic in some sort of way. They're not going to try to bring in another person of color. That was just the truth being told. And so they tried to agree on some white people, just to bring some white vanilla flavor in. And they still kind of could not decide. She picked one person, he picked someone else. And their boss decided, okay, I'll interview them both. Because they couldn't come to a unanimous decision. But at least they compromised in some way to being okay with both of their candidates being interviewed. So, yeah. We do see, her, she's in her hairdresser chair at the, I cannot think. She's getting her hair done by the hairdresser on set. And he's just so emotional. He's like, he's just a little off. So she's like, well, what's wrong? And he just confessed, oh my God, my husband left me. Oh my God, he, just out the blue left. I should have known something was up when he did not show up to sign paperwork for us to get a surrogate because we were going to have a baby and all this stuff. And I get home and all of his stuff is gone. And he left me a bullshit note about how he'll be back to get his things and how he couldn't do this anymore. And he was just so distraught. Of course, she's like, oh, it's okay. There are plenty of other fish in the sea. Me and Lee broke up and I was so depressed. You weren't too depressed, Mary Jane, because you was all up on... Well, you was depressed for a minute. Because Justin didn't take you too soon. But yeah, she tried to console him a little bit and just say, there's always more fish in the sea. Don't feel so bad. You will feel better. Blah, 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 blah. I mean, he drops a bomb that he know that she messing with Justin. Because he's like, when you say other fish, do you mean, the square jaw, light-eyed producer? And she knows that he's talking about them too. And he's like, you can't hide stuff from a gay. Because they say gay people, not they, some gay people do say they have like super senses. Okay, I'm not gay, so I don't know. Um, but yeah, he's like, I knew it. So, but your secret is safe with me. Secrets ain't safe for nobody except the person whose secret it is. If someone knows your secret, it's gonna come out. The key to having a secret and keeping a secret is don't tell no damn body. Okay, keep it a secret. So yeah, we see that, so that's fine. We see Justin and MJ having a conversation because Kara wants to have MJ and Lee come over because again, she hasn't told Kara that her and Lee have broken up. So Justin and Mary Jane are having a conversation about how she should tell Kara how can she break it to her without telling her that she basically left Lee, or basically Lee broke up with her because she told the truth that she slept with Justin. Now her and Justin are together. And Justin and Mary Jane sneak off into a little editing room or something, and I would need them to stop having all these sex scenes at work. I mean, y'all had sex for the first time on the damn anchor chair at the office. Thank God it wasn't recorded because it could have been. And this time y'all sneaking off to the editing room and he eating your cho-chai, trying to teach you if he can eat your cho-chai and you vagina. If you can eat your coochie and you can keep a straight face, then you can lie to your friends. First of all, anyone who teaches you how to lie to your friends ain't shit. Let me tell you that first, okay? Point blank period. Because if he telling you how how you can lie to your friends, he know how to lie to you. Okay? And you just should not get your coochie ate at work. Now, while people is at work, I'm all for it. If everybody gone from work and it's an empty office and y'all want to go have sex, do what you want to do. You should not have sex, by the way, when people are there and you lock the door. Because the smell of sex is going to be in that damn room. And then they're going to be like, well, who was in this room? Oh, it was MJ and Justin. Justin and MJ having sex? That's what would happen. So, Mary Jane, stop fucking that man at work. We do see her showing up to Kara's house without Lee, of course. And she's trying to fake cry. And it wasn't believable to me, but it was believable in the aspect of she's a bad liar. So for me, she wasn't supposed to look like she was really a good fake crier. It looked how it was supposed to look. I thought that was brilliant. And she's like, we broke up. And, I'm just so sad. So when Kara's like, well, what happened? She tells Kara, Lee broke up with me. He didn't show up to the doctor's office to do the insemination stuff or the insemination stuff. They were trying to have a baby, IVF and stuff. He didn't show up there, and he left me a note saying how he couldn't do this, and all his stuff was gone. So she basically stole the hairdresser's story and told it to Kara. Bitch, you gonna lie about stealing the story? Okay. So she, Kara's like, oh my God, I'm so, so it's gonna be okay. So they have their whole powwow moment, and when she leaves, she's like, okay, thanks, and it's the whole thing. And when her phone rings, and of course it's probably Justin, but she's trying to ignore her phone. My thing is, when your phone ringing and you don't want the person who you're around to know who calling you, it's better to answer your phone and say, hey, let me call you right back. Yep, okay. And just say, or hey, I'm here with Kara. Because that person more than likely gonna know who you're trying to avoid. But when you don't answer your phone and you try to let it go to voicemail, that's suspect. And that's what she tried to do. Kara then tried to grab her phone, like, oh, maybe it's Lee calling. You can talk to him. And she's like, oh no, I'll grab it. She then says it's someone from work because they're doing a story on Angelina Jolie. I'm like, why are you still lying? Why didn't you just walk away? But Kara, of course, after Mary Jane walks away, she's like, she's lying. I'm going to figure it out. So Mary Jane did not fool her. There was a scene, we cut to Niecy. And Niecy's out on a date. And she's out on a date. She's in the club with a goddamn scrub who can't even afford a $25 drink ticket, drink bill. $25? You can't afford $25 and you on a date with me? And of course she's aggravated because she's like, ugh, he pulls out $10 on a $25 bill, but he like, I can pay you back when we get back to my house. Bitch, I ain't going back to your house. You can't even afford the goddamn on bill here. You can't. No, you put out $10, and the $10 was like wrinkled. Like that must have been his last 10. Anybody who has a crinkled up, sweaty looking bill and that's their only bill, like that's been in your pocket for a long time. Nah, bruh, I'm straight. Cause she go in her wallet, she pull out 30, boom, bill paid, I'm out. And her friends are like, girl, you got a babysitter. We should hang out. And she's like, girl, I'm over this club. I'm finna go home. So she leaves because she's upset. Okay, cool. Um, we see her mama watching her as she's on air, and her mom's like, she looks so happy. She looks so happy. Something's up because she looks too happy. Mama knows when something ain't right. And when you call your mom and say, me and so-and-so broke up the other day, and then 2 days or 3 days or 4 days or just within a week later, you looking so happy, like nothing is wrong. Your mom do be like, something going on. And Niecy like, well, grandma, she on TV. She's supposed to look happy. And her mama like, nah, it's something else. I know. So she tries to get Niecy to call Mary Jane. So she does call Mary Jane later on in the episode, but Mary Jane and Justin are like trying to have sex. And Mary Jane does answer, but she kind of like, oh, you know what? I gotta go, Niecy. I'll call you back later. And grandma like, why you talk to her longer, baby? And it's like, well, I'll call her back later. So, we had that whole thing. What else did we do? We see how Kira has the mediator from her arbitration removed. I thought that was a smart move that she did, solely because that was the person who in the last episode was commenting on her attire, saying how she had on a nice dress, how she be hanging out with baseball players' wives and all that stuff. So she was smart enough to have that person removed, because she's trying to get this money from this arbitration, from her being fired. So we do see that part happen. We see how Mary Jane has to interview. To me, she's like a Tommy Lauren type character. It's for lack of a better term, it's a white person who is doing like online commentary and coming from a very, very, very much so white standpoint. And for me, it was exactly like Tommy Lauren, who does her own stuff on the internet. I was like, okay, I wonder where they're going with having this scene of Mary Jane having to interview her. They were showing Mary Jane watch some of the girls posts and stuff, and I just kind of was not even for that moment at all. We then see that how their boss is asking Justin to testify against Kara in her arbitration, solely so that they don't have to pay her all this money from her arbitration. And Justin, of course, is torn because he's like, that's her friend, I can't do that. But my boss is asking me to do something that I basically have to do. But the boss was like, throw her up under the bus, run her ass over, do whatever you have to do so that we don't have to pay her this money from arbitration. And I thought that part was crazy. So we also see the next scene is Kara, she's saying, I got the mediator removed. It was so cool. Everything is going kind of better now. And her and Boo Boo is in the bed kissing and hugging and stuff. And her phone go off and she go to grab her phone. I'm thinking she grabbing her phone because she's trying to see if it was the lawyer calling, if it's a job calling. No, it's for some goddamn tweets. And she's like, she gets out of bed. I don't know anyone who stops loving on their man to look at some damn tweets to try to catch their friend in a lie about why they broke up with their boyfriend. I wouldn't even care. Nope. Or I would care after. So we do see that. So then at this point, we see Mary Jane and Justin are back at the house coming up with sex rules. Y'all got too many goddamn rules. And so they're talking about, when he's like, when I'm in control, I don't want any limits. There are no safe words. And then she's like, well, I'm in control. I want you to give me all of you. First of all, I always feel like when someone says give me all of you, they mean anal. And I don't know if she was saying to him anything about putting her finger in his butt, but I don't think a woman should ever ask a man, I want you to give me all of you. It's too soon for that. Because y'all ain't in love. So he can't be giving you his whole heart and soul. Y'all ain't there yet. So I was like, where is she going with this? I was like, okay, Mary Jane, whatever. So yeah, he wants her to surrender, which I like, because you want a man to be dominant. You don't want like a little puppy dog man. Because it was a scene before when Lee did have Mary Jane put her finger in his butt. That was very submissive. Ugh. Anywho, so that is the point where Niecy called and she answered and hung up. We then have Kara call, and Kara's like, "Hey, we should hang out. We should go out. Blah 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 blah. I'm on my way. I'm almost there." And she's like, oh, "Where are you?" Because again, Kara doesn't know she's dating Lee. I mean, that she's dating Justin, so she doesn't want Kara to come to her apartment and see Justin. And when Kara says, "Well, I'm downstairs. My cab was put up," she's like, "Well, wait. Don't come up. I'm gonna come down. Just stay there." Because again, she's trying to avoid Kara knowing about her and Justin. So her and Kara are in the car, and she's like, "Okay, we're gonna go. Just Lee's having a comedy show. We're gonna go to his club, and we're gonna confront him. You're gonna like heckle him." And she's like, "I don't want to do that. Why would I do that?" At 20 years in my 20s, that is something I would have suggested to my friend. Even now in my 30s, I might suggest we go see an ex do something, but I would never be the one to say, let's go see them and cause a scene, because I'm old and I'm distinguished. I definitely wouldn't suggest that to my girl in my 40s. I thought that was a little bit childish, but I get she was doing that so that Mary Jane would eventually have to tell her the truth, because she's not gonna want to go and do that if something else is up. So she keeps saying, "Yeah, we can, he played you, he left you, you should be mad." Mary Jane then said, "Okay, I broke up with him." So she at least tells that much of the truth. But she still kind of lies, because when she said, "Well, why did you break up with him? Why did you sabotage this relationship? You're in your 40s. You can't be waiting for this knight in shining armor. He was a great guy." And then she says, "Well, I just felt like I was too good for him. I'm on TV and he's just a comedian." So she kind of lied, but it sounded believable coming from her, which pissed Kara off. And Kara was like, "You know what?" Well, not pissed her off like it was a bad thing, but she was like, she felt like she got the information she wanted. So girls' night was over, and she's like, "We're gonna go drop you back off at home, and then it's done." I mean, Kara, you need to stop it. We see where Kara walks into arbitration, and who was sitting there? Justin. Looking sexy, might I add. He did look cute in that particular scene, and she's shocked. What I liked about it was Justin made a point to praise her, to say how great of a producer she was and how great of a producer she had been. But he also made it known that on this particular reason that she was fired, she didn't do her job. It wasn't as if she did her job and she was fired for the wrong reasons. She didn't do what she should have done. And he brought up when she got up saying, "Well, yeah, the story wasn't mine, so that's why I didn't delve deep into the research." That's not really an excuse, because he then brought up other shows that she did not start producing, but it came to her and she still did her due diligence. So he didn't like bury her. He kind of just told the truth, which is what he had to do, so that he wouldn't get fired, basically. And she was very, 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 very angry. Just saying how he loved to throw people under the bus, and how he got rid of Rhonda and, was Mary Jane next. And then he just says to her, if you took less time playing the victim, you would probably be in a better situation than you are now. Which is true, because getting fired does suck. But you can't make it seem as if you did nothing wrong, I'm guessing. Because she admits that she didn't research the piece, but she kept using the excuse because it wasn't her story from the beginning. So I think Justin saying to her, stop trying to play the victim, it kind of made her realize what she had been kind of doing for a little bit a little bit. So then we see Mary Jane and Kara have dinner, and Kara makes it seem like Justin tried to bury her, like Justin tried to make her out to be this just incompetent person, and he didn't. He just said in this situation, for the story that she was fired about, she didn't do what she was supposed to do on that one job. She didn't do her job. But of course, Mary Jane is upset, and she talks to Justin, and Justin's like, I had no choice. I'm sorry about that. My eye was itching. I had no choice. Our boss said I had to do it, and we know in work sometimes you do have to do things that you don't want to do, just because that's your own livelihood. So that part was, I'm so sorry, my eye is driving me crazy. But that part, we see Mary Jane be upset. Like, oh, you think I'm stupid? You think I'm dumb? But Mary Jane, you can't get upset because it's not like he lied. And Kara isn't his friend; she's your friend. And even though y'all are just newly dating, if the roles were reversed, you would have had to have done something as well. But of course, Justin still feels bad about the situation. So what he does, he goes to their boss and was like, the boss is like, oh yeah, I heard it went great today. Operation, we're almost there. And he's like, I don't know. I don't know if that's really true. And he's like, what do you mean? I heard you guys did great. And he was like, well, I think, she has this connection as a woman with the mediator. We might lose this. And he's like, well, no, we have to do something so that we don't have to pay her this money for this arbitration stuff. And Justin has a solution. And the next thing we see is Kara walking in with a Good Day, whatever show they on, badge, and she's hired back. So Justin did the best thing because he cared for Mary Jane, and he know Mary Jane loves Kara. So he bit the bullet and he convinced them to bring her back as a senior producer. He's also a senior producer. So he's sharing his title with her. And she's happy because she's back at work and she's still being paid, and she's now a senior producer, not a regular producer. And of course, it makes Mary Jane happy. It makes him look good in Mary Jane's eyes. And for the most part, Kara can't then be pissed at him because he's the reason she came back. No matter what his motives were for doing it, he brought her back to the show. And I like Kara on the show. I do. She don't like Justin, and we know that it's going to take a moment for her to even warm up to him. But I like the dynamic of all of them being on the show. We do see one scene from earlier where we see Niecy is swiping left and swiping right all on Tinder, trying to find her some new dick. And, she's like, I'm just tired of all these Atlanta dudes. And she just switches to New York. Now, why a person in Georgia would search for dudes in New York is beyond me, because you don't live in New York. You live in Atlanta. So we do see where Grandma, Mary Jane's mom, is seeing her on camera again, and she's like, something's up with her. So Niecy, old crafty ass, played her grandma, like, but yeah, Grandma, I can't get in touch with her. Maybe if we could get her to come here to visit us, we can do something. But she know Mary Jane can't come visit. She then said, well, Grandma, maybe you can go visit her and you can get it figured out. And Grandma like, well, no, I can't travel to New York, baby, but you can. Niecy then plotted and done whatever she could do to get her damn tickets to New York so she can go get some dick. Man, look, the reason I don't like it is because I'm a big girl. Always have been a big girl. Don't hate on the big girls. But we ain't out here on Tinder swiping left. Well, I'm not on Tinder at all. Clearly. No. But we ain't out here on dating sites trying to find dick in different states. And we ain't taking flights to different states to get no dick. It's enough dick in Michigan for me. No. I would go to another state for some dick if I moved to another state. But I'm not going to trick my grandma into buying me a plane ticket to go visit my auntie in New York so I can meet this nigga that I met on Tinder in New York. No, ma'am. No, sir. No, thank you. So for me, that part was weird. So as we see, Niecy going to be tripping into New York. It's something going to have to happen, because if you meet a dude on Tinder, you go to New York, he got to at least, beat you. It's going to be something stupid that's going to happen. It's going to be revealed that she really went to New York for a whole different reason. But whatever. But anyway, the last two scenes, I'm going to go over it really quickly. One, they picked the white girl who is like the Tommy Lauren character as the new anchor. Pissed Mary Jane off, because even though she interviewed the girl and she was tolerance of her, she still was very agitated with the girls' point of views on different things. But of course, the network brought her in. Of course, they will bring in the kind of racist white girl. Why not? Whatever. So we'll see how that plays out. We also see, you know, Mary Jane is happy that Justin helped bring Kara back, and as she's kind of saying thank you, she's sitting in her chair. She's sitting in her chair. He's standing up, and she kind of just leans her head on him and smiles the way you do with your boo. You know, you kind of lean in and you smile, and Kara happens to turn, and she sees it, and it's like a moment of you fucking Justin, and that's why you left Lee alone. And this how it went off of Kara looking in Mary Jane, seeing her look and see it, and Kara looks disgusted. But also, that's why when you dating somebody at work, you don't do stuff like that. You don't put your head on the shoulder, or on his hip, or on his leg. You don't sneak off and have sex in the damn editing room. You don't do any of that, because when you do, that's when shit gets messy. And as we see, the next episode, shit gets messy. Okay? So, thank you for tuning in. This is my review for Being Mary Jane. Until next time, please like my video, share my video, make a comment, and subscribe. Until next time, people. Peace.